building even more battle cruisers. You almost never see this in the TvT, but it's actually kind of fun to watch and see how JDX might be able to hold out on his own. Whittling the numbers down, there's only 2, there's only 4, there's only 5, 6 total battle cruisers left. They're all very, very hurt. What he needs to do is focus fire the ones that are hurt more down than the others. But unfortunately, he's in a production facility. He's getting a lot of it destroyed. Does wisely build up a lot of starports down here, but unfortunately, he's just not doesn't have enough, production facilities, and he's queued up a lot. It looks like Sheptennis is talking some shit. JDX did completely lose his main expansion, so there's really not much you can do in this regard. It's all about him trying to get these Vikings out, possibly stop these battle cruisers from moving any type of forward. Wisely does get an expansion up, dropping down supply depots like crazy, trying to hold off as long as he can. Again, most of these battle cruisers have 20 plus kills each, but they're all very hurt. So if he's able to get a few good kills in there, he might actually be able to hold this down. Does look like the battle cruisers are going to end up moving into the high yield expansion. These Marauders, their days are numbered, as you can see. Like I say, he should move out the Marauders and the tanks, move forward, possibly attack. Now it looks like JDX is going to move in with the Thors a little bit, try to do good. He got a little splash damage there because they were all grouped up. Got a couple more splash damage. And it does appear a couple of Vikings down here are going to engage this battle cruiser directly. He's trying to buy him time. The longer he can wait and get these expansions up and going, or these Vikings up and going, the better off he'll be. Does end up taking one more battle cruiser off. There's 4 more battle cruisers left alive. Does try to, of course, take out this last turn here, but now the Vikings are here and they're going to take out the one that's hurt more than anything. He's going to end up taking out the second one, and he's going to try to end up taking out the third and possibly the fourth one here. Now it's a little back and forth as battle cruisers were doing a lot of damage. Units lost that. Usually JDX is way behind, 30,000 to 24,000. But what can the blue Terran do now? He's basically mined out of his first expansion they got, mined out of his main, and he doesn't even have any harvesters over here to mining out. So he's at 1,000 minerals, but he's only got 15 harvesters. He committed so much to the attack, he neglected his income completely. So yeah, his battle cruisers did a lot of damage. The problem with that is he's got nothing to back it up. And look, JDX microing back and forth against his battle cruiser. If he does it properly, the battle cruiser will never be able to attack him. So the battle cruiser does decide to turn around. JDX does get a couple more pop shots in, and ends up running. Oh, does end up getting a Yamato cannon to the face. Oh, this is a great TvT match. I've seen many TvT matches, and usually it's just tank and Terran, or tank and Marines versus tank and Marines, all about positioning. But Sheptennis did decide to try to do something a little bit different this time with the battle cruisers. The only thing I'd fault him on is he allowed so many drops to hit his base that he's got no harvesters at all he's banking at 42 minerals. That's all he's got. He's using his minerals to repair this battle cruiser. So he's really got this little bit of our army left, 66 supply to 114. Definitely got to give it up to JDX. He was up against a huge force and was able to hold it down and just expand elsewhere. Occasionally do drops to take out expansions, so that if this engagements like these do happen, that he'd be in a better position than his blue opponent here. Now there is 5 more total battle cruisers here. Production facility shows that it looks like he's working on, of course, some SCVs. JDX is actually trying to get more command centers. During this entire time frame, he is trying to work on getting more expansions, trying to keep his economy up. He knows he got hurt pretty bad, and of course, as you can see, yeah, he lost a lot more, but he didn't neglect his income at all. So he's still in the match. Both players are still in the match at this point. I'd probably give the favor to JDX because he's double expanding down here. He's got this expansion almost back up and going. I would call that a half expansion because it's almost mined out. But the double expanding is going down here. Grabbing an orbital command, which is wise for this location. Orbital command here, and a planetary fortress right here. More than likely this will be attacked first, and he can easily protect us over here. There's one little little SCV get on the action and destroy that little Marine. There was one Marine trying to hold off all this, but a little SCV was out for blood and actually not used to attacking, but finally got his little pickaxe or whatever he has and went in there and did some damage. This base, of course, completely mined out. There's not too many bases left that possibly you can have. You have the high yield here and the expansions up in the top right corner, but that's just about it. It looks like, I don't know who is expanding over here, possibly someone's going over there. Looks like JDX actually is going to end up getting this expansion as well. If anything, even if you can't mine off of it at this point in the game, it's good to have an expansion, turn it into a planetary fortress, especially at the high yield, so he just knows that his opponent cannot have that expansion. So basically, he has map control again. Sheptennis had map control for a little while, but for the most part, about 70-80% of this game, JDX has complete map control, knows what's going on at all times, ends up wisely dropping his Vikings on top of these tanks, which is a great play there. The Vikings were flying overhead and dropped right on top of these tanks. Great play by JDX, was able to destroy that entire tank army. And now here we go again, 5 more battle cruisers, and looking like maybe, let's see here, a little over a page of Marines. But keep in mind, they are not upgraded at all, as opposed to JDX's infantry army. Almost fully upgraded, probably fully upgraded by this point. And fully upgraded attack on his Vikings, which is great, especially to counteract these battle cruisers. Now, supply discrepancy, 152 to 76. Huge difference in supply discrepancy. JDX harvester count about 39 to 12 on Sheptennis. Even throughout this entire time, it's usually wise to continue to build harvesters. Here we are about 50 minutes into the game, and at least one player should have close to 60 or 70 harvesters. Really, it's not that big a deal for JDX. He's been way more cost effective. He's still banking on 4,000 minerals. So even though he doesn't have a lot of harvesters, if he keeps his units alive, his 4,000 minerals will last him a while. If he does lose his entire army and keeps losing it over and over, that will hurt him not having enough harvesters. But keep in mind, he's still 26 ahead of his opponent. So yeah, it kind of sucks that he doesn't have a lot of harvesters, but he has more than his opponent. Plus, he's got way more expansions at this point, so he's looking in much better shape. And these Vikings just want to eat up some battle cruisers. And they'll have probably an encounter here momentarily. Supply discrepancy 155 to 97, still favoring the red Terran. Excuse me, a little bit of coughing action there. And JDX wisely just placing missile turrets all over the place. Why not? You have the banked resources to do it. Protects your expansions. He probably should end up putting about 6 or 7 over here as well. And probably just, I really don't even need any on that point. Now it's just a waiting game to see who wants to move out first, who wants to attack. JDX looks like he might do yet another drop. Did see, of course, this expansion over here moving, or being built. So he might end up trying to go over there and do some type of expansion. Does send one Marine over here to scout to see if there's another expansion for the blue Terran player over here. Smart. You constantly want to scout. Constantly want to know what your opponent's doing. And it looks like there might be a massive drop going in over here on the expansion over Sheptennis. If he's able to lock this down, oh, it does look like there's a couple siege tanks on the high ground sieging up. He could easily hit this planetary fortress from a distance, and there'd be nothing that Sheptennis could really do about it. Probably could easily try to heal that, but it looks like he's actually going to sacrifice it. Has a total of 7 battle cruisers now, so he's got his army back up a little bit, but he's going to lose his only mining expansion again. So this is all he's got, unless he does some, which it looks like he's doing some long distance mining. That's all he's got. 220 resources, so this is the army he's got left. He really needs to make something happen, needs to destroy something. If he catches these Vikings off guard, he can definitely do a lot of damage, especially with all the Marines down there. Of course, half the army is over here protecting this expansion. So it does look like Sheptennis is moving out, but he doesn't attack command. He moves command, ends up losing 1 battle cruiser because of that. And now the range on JDX is trying to take out the battle cruisers as long as he can, but the Marines are down here just annihilating what was left of the Vikings. And the battle cruisers, even though they got whittled down, there's still this big Marine army here that could actually take out a lot of things. 5 battle cruisers remain, and a little over a page of Marines left. So JDX needs to come back and come and attack, but it looks like there's a couple, at least Vikings over here to take out some more of these battle cruisers. But those Vikings get taken out. So he really definitely, JDX needs to bring his rest of his army over here or he'll lose yet another expansion. But this is all Sheptennis has. If he makes good work of what he has here, he can easily win. He just has to make sure he keeps his units alive and doesn't end up losing them needlessly. Marines are coming in here doing some damage. They do have 1 defense upgrade, but that's about all they have. That Viking got obliterated, but there's one still remaining, and it looks like there's still 4 battle cruisers, and still a page of that. So unfortunately, JDX is losing all of his commands or his buildings yet again. Really needs to just maybe move in or bring all of his units at one time and just attack. Because at this point, he's lost another expansion, lost all of his supply depots, lost his production facilities. But keep in mind, this is really all that Sheptennis has left. If this is out, this is over with. So he's got to keep these alive. Wisely, JDX is going to try to rally all of his troops down here instead of attacking. A lot of people try to attack with a little bit of units, but this looks like it might be a final attack here. JDX does have the high ground, does have the Marines with the upgrade advantage on, does end up extending, trying to push forward. The upgrade advantage goes to JDX, and he might end up having to use these other units in here to reinforce. Vikings over here taking out the battle cruisers, and it looks like JDX did become victorious in that particular fight, and now it's just a matter of time to move out and completely destroy his opponent. His opponent's sitting at no resources whatsoever. JDX banking at 6,300 resources and does an even good game. Sheptennis decided to go with a unique build. I'll give it credit for him. Something you rarely, if not ever, see in Terran vs. Terra is battlecruisers, so I'll give him props for that. But he needed to be a little more cost-effective with the units, attack where he can, back out where he can, and constantly be building harvesters. You know, there should be no call for having 70 or 19 harvesters this late in the game. But Victor was JDX. Great job repositioning his base, rebuilding, and just holding it down. Went a standard build with Marines and tanks, and eventually needed a Vikings to, of course, take out the battle cruisers. So it was a good game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Great TvT in my opinion. Long TvT in my opinion. I'm kind of tired, need a drink. But if you want to send your own replays, send them to sidsreplays@gmail.com at sidsreplays@gmail.com, and I will do my best to capture as well. Look forward to it next time.